Hi, this is David Nathan, the British Ambassador of Soul. Welcome to part two of my interview with Miss Ann Nesby for our podcast at Substack. In part two, Ann talks about what she's accomplished so far, about the song Optimistic and its impact on many, many people, and being the executive producer and narrator of an upcoming documentary, as well as her upcoming soul food product. When you look at your career in its entirety right now, how do you feel about all that you've accomplished?
I'm very, I feel very blessed in all with the things that God has allowed me to accomplish. Um, he has, from the time my parents um, gave me, helped me to establish identity to um, the time that God has allowed me to understand my purpose,
Yes.
um, to the growth in my career. I've been really blessed to have the opportunity to have worked with all the artists that I dreamed about and
Mm,
kind of studied their music and learned and um, kind of incorporated some of the things that they did into my music to having been inspired by Melba Moore and
mm,
Mahalia Jackson to be
yes.
in movies and film, and having worked with Melba Moore in my very first film, Fighting Temptations, with Beyonce,
Mm,
Knowles and Cuba Gooding, just watching other artists that inspired me and being able to meet those artists. The only person I really didn't get a chance to meet was Mahalia Jackson,
mm,
but her music always resonated with me because she was one of my mother's favorite.
mm,
So, but being able to meet every artist that
mm,
I ever dreamt about or thought about is a blessing. And then going on tour with Luther Vandross as the very first tour for Sounds of Blackness out of the box
mm,
on our first single.
mm,
Then God blessed us. He blessed us to do that first tour. You know how they say you have to pay your dues. It's
mm,
like God blessed us to come out at the top
mm.
and work backwards. And touring with Luther Vandross introducing me to my favorite singer, Aretha Franklin,
Mm,
at the Grammys
mm,
and winning the Grammy with Sounds of Blackness for Optimistic. So being able to, and then singing with Aretha and Michael McDonald that day
mm.
on the Grammys. I mean, you couldn't top that. And it was like at the beginning of my career with Perspective Records.
Yes,
So
yes,
it has
yes.
been a journey. So it's all been a blessing for me.
Mm. Well, one of the things I noticed, because I'm like many other people of not just my generation, other generations. I have Spotify playlists, blah blah blah. When I'm out and about, I
Uh-huh.
put different things in the like songs, and I don't necessarily know the sequence of what's going to come up, even though I
Yeah.
put the playlist together. And I want you to know personally that every time, every time, Optimistic comes on. No matter
Oh,
where I am, if I'm staying on the tube station in London or if I'm walking down the street, it
yeah.
it just the energy of the song and the whole everything about the song, it just what it's called. I mean, everything about it truly is for me one of the timeless anthems of the or could say the 20th century, really. I mean, and it
Well,
just every time, and every time.
thank you so much, David. It was a blessing to do Optimistic, that very first release
Hmm.
for Sounds of Blackness with Perspective Records.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
and it was so divinely put together in that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, one of the very first song from their label to be a song that honored God for how He'd blessed them
mm,
in their career over the years, and they wanted to start their label with that release.
mm.
And while we were working, um, I think I talked about it being um, a feel-good
Yes.
song that we pray will be a blessing to everyone that heard it, um, everybody that this song fell on their ears, that their
Mm,
spirit would be lifted. And I always will say in our interviews, I've always felt like whatever is from the heart reaches the heart.
mm,
So I think Optimistic was a song that was definitely from our hearts, and that starting out, that we wanted the world to know that we were a body of artists uh, that were grounded in love,
mm. Yes.
and that we had a message to share.
Mm,
And so for me, having made that leap of faith, I always call it an Abrahamic move, in that I had
mm,
to leave um, from around my whole church family that I knew very well, my mother and father. Being there, always being their musician and their minister of music, to step out with my children
mm,
on my own, and start this new life and journey,
mm.
uh, to step into Sounds of Blackness with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and being signed by them.
Yes.
So Optimistic was kind of a theme song for myself,
Yes.
in understanding and knowing, learning how to trust God, and know, as long as I kept focus, as I kept my eyes on Him, and keep my head to the sky,
Mm,
everything fall in place.
mm-hmm.
Always putting God first and putting Him first in our mission and in our journey, we're led on the right path.
Mm.
And we have nothing to fear or worry about. And we can stay optimistic because we know that a path has already been laid for us.
Yes. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking briefly. I went to look at your the bio, your Ann Nesby bio on your website,
Yes.
which shows you looking glowingly lovely.
David.
That you made reference to in here, it makes reference to, I think, something you might want to tell us a little bit about, which is called, now help me with the pronunciation. Is Cirillo?
Cirillo
Cirillo, A Legacy Untold. Can you
Queen,
tell me a little about
absolutely.
that, please?
Um, I, the legacy of Cirillo McSween is a documentary that one of my team members, uh, Justin Cooper, from Jock Media, he did a short film on the life of Cirillo McSween, who was very, very important in the treaties for the I'm trying to say the what do you call it, that our president was trying to change it from, uh child, I'm lost in my thoughts. He was uh um he was from Panama, the
Okay, 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 gotcha, gotcha.
Panama Canal.
Right,
uh
right, right, right.
he was a civil rights um person that participated with Jesse Jackson
Really?
in
Hmm.
Operation Breadbasket,
Yeah.
basket, even before it was a Rainbow Push. Uh,
Yes, yes,
he
yes.
was very um, prominent in Dr. Martin Luther King's March for Civil
Hmm.
Rights in Chicago.
Hmm.
He was one of the first Black entrepreneurs with McDonald's to
Hmm.
earn the Golden Arches.
Hmm.
And he had McDonald's in Chicago that I remember going to,
Wow.
that had African American figures on the wall, and he played jazz in
Yes.
the McDonald's. So it was like a museum trip when you got to go visit Cirillo McSween McDonald's. And he
Wow.
always
That's amazing. Yes.
participated in um, things that were for civil rights,
Mm,
and he was so prominent. He was an Olympic runner,
mm,
and he was definitely an Olympian there as
mm.
well.
Yes.
And he was the first Black president of, and one of the first Black workers for New York Life
Mm, mm,
Insurance.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So his legacy um, is so deep into it. We call a hidden figure in the in
Yes.
Black history, but
Yes.
he played such an important part with the president of Panama,
Mm, mm.
because he was a part of the talks in the treaty and getting the Panama Canal done. So
Interesting. Yes.
Justin
Yes.
decided to do, he was working in the media for New York Life.
Mm,
And I had been doing some narrations for New York Life
mm.
with their insurance company. And he said, Miss Ann, I'm gonna do this documentary, and I want you to narrate the
Wow.
whole film.
Yes.
So in doing that, we decided that I would step out. This was my first time being executive producer
Mm,
for a short film. So
mm.
this is my life stepping over into my film role.
Yes.
And I'm really excited about that. A Legacy Untold,
Great.
the
Well,
life of Cirillo McSween.
will you let us know how that fares and when it will be available for people to see?
I would absolutely do that. But
Good.
in the meantime, you can visit Cirillo McSween dot doc.com
Yes.
and understand the life of Cirillo McSween
Mm.
in the meantime, and understand his importance in our life history.
Yes. Yes. Oh, all right. Well, to wrap it up, as they say,
Yes.
uh, you have accomplished a great deal, and since I first met you, I mean, you accomplished things before I met you too. But
Praise
really, really,
God.
the last to kind of end where we began, so to speak, in this
Yes, yes.
conversation, 35 years, it's a significant amount of time in anyone's life. So
Yes, it is.
when you look back for a moment at the 35 years,
Hmm. Hmm.
how do you feel about all that you've accomplished, all that's happened?
I when I look back over the 35 years of my career in the industry, I thank God for growth.
Mm,
I thank Him for the broader education, the education of music and music business that I've learned
mm,
and garnered. I thank God for uh, the many friends and colleagues that um, I've gained and maintained and been able to work and network with
mm,
throughout the 35 years,
mm,
and the opportunity to share the gift
mm,
that He has given me, because I wanted my career and my gift to be one that I could say one of a poured out life, as opposed to sitting there holding a picture with my gift,
mm.
a full picture that God had given me with my gift, and not pouring it out completely.
Wow.
And
Mm,
just continue to pour whatever I'm blessed with. into others that maybe it may be a help or a blessing along the way.
Yes.
And the blessing that I've received back from that,
Mm.
when others come up and say, um, when I hear songs like Optimistic, I'm blessed, and it helped me. I was about to take the bar. I was the youngest person, youngest doctor in my class that graduated, and I played this song the whole while I was getting ready to take the bar. And lawyers that have come up, and even young people that say that they were at the brink, and even one said that they were about to commit suicide because they
Oh.
felt like there was nothing left,
Mm. Mm.
and just happened to hear this song
Mm.
come off the radio and was inspired.
Mm.
Uh, I've had stories like playing in the house club. Um, and people saying that I had no place uh there because of the thoughts idea they had. But sometimes the stage will become an altar even in a house club.
Mm.
And I mean, for art, for people and fans coming backstage, and would you pray for me,
Mm.
uh and committing their lives to God even at the house club, and saying,
Mm.
I promised my mother that I would give my life to the Lord before she died. These things actually happen. So having the opportunity to have shared and witnessed those types of things with the ministry that God had given me with my gift,
Mm.
I wouldn't trade what I've learned or shared over these 35 years for nothing,
Wow.
for
Well,
nothing.
I just said well because
So
that's
deep.
I think that's all, well, well,
Well,
well. Now, last question, very, very last question.
mhm.
Uh, so with all that said and all you have accomplished, what do you see in this next period of your life?
Well, right as we speak right now,
Mhm.
I am preparing to release a food product because I'm also um one that I love to cook. I love to cook. And Tim and I, of course, my manager, I call him my husbander,
Yes.
we're talking about doing um, a soul food book. And,
Really?
I'm preparing my first food product release called Miss Ann's Soulful Casserole. So as of now, we just have it like in like some small hospitals and
Yes.
um, prisons, and
Mm.
we're now releasing it to school cafeterias
Mm.
because it's like a wholesome, soulful casserole, and it was a way for me to make sure that my children had the five basic food groups in one
Mm.
casserole when
Mm.
I was going to the studio, and didn't have time to be there to do a
Mm.
whole out
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
basic five meal every day. But that casserole made sure that they got the nutrients I felt like they liked. And I wanted to introduce black eyed peas into their lives with something that they liked. I
Yeah.
knew they liked cheeseburgers. So I kind of mixed the idea with that soulful casserole and gave them some black eyed peas that mama liked. So, and once I put it in the casserole and gave them some of the things they liked,
Yes.
uh, this that's how this line has been successful because young
Mm.
people love that element of mother's home cooking and
Yes.
also something that they like joined
Yes.
together. And then for the adult role, I also do a veggie portion of the casserole as well. So it's
Good for people
going
like me.
over pretty good.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that don't like
wonderful.
the meat part, I do a veggie casserole.
Wow.
And it seems to be going pretty good, and I'm thanking God for it's like a new leap, but I'm always gonna
Yes.
sing and do what I like to do. But I wanted to share um my love for food with my fans as well. So I did the
Yes.
Miss Anne's casserole.
Well, all right. So is that going to be at some point available like on a bigger scale
Absolutely, that's what we're working on
that you
releasing
work on?
it.
Good,
We're
good.
working on releasing it worldwide.
Wow.
So we
Yes,
just we're in meetings right now. So
yes.
I'm really excited about that. So all the fans, keep your fingers crossed and pray. This man's casserole will be available to you one of these days.
Well, because you know me for a long time, man. You know, I cannot resist being a little naughty and humorous. So
Yes, of
I'm gonna
course.
bring some humor to the end of our conversation with what you just talked about, Miss Anne's soul casserole. It's called soul casserole, right?
Soulful casserole.
Soulful casserole. So now I'm bringing some. I'm gonna say some again. You know, as I said, you know me long enough to I can't say be a little naughty. So should we tell Miss Patty's pies to move over?
Absolutely not. In fact, it will be a complimentary side,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
a
Well, now
complimentary
that's smart
side,
now.
a complimentary side to her beautiful pies that I love so much. In fact,
Well, maybe you could do a
um,
collab. But
absolutely, absolutely.
get Miss Ann's soulful casserole, and you
Uh-huh.
could get a Miss Patty pie, a Miss Patty
Miss Patty
pumpkin
pie,
pie.
sweet potato pie, peach cobbler,
There you go.
blackberry cobbler, because my casserole is savory. It's
Yes,
savory,
yes,
uh, and meaty, and it's food, and it's
yes.
a whole meal
Nutritious. Yeah,
in a
yeah,
serving.
yeah.
So it would definitely be a great dessert spot to be beside Miss Patty.
All right, then. You know, I don't know if I planted a little thought there, if you might have already had the thought, but if you hadn't, maybe you can give her a call and say, "Hey,
Listen,
let's
listen.
let's do two for the price of one or something."
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's great.
Sit her down in there.
Well, and
Absolutely.
I just want to tell you how wonderful it is to speak with you again, as always.
Again.
I can
Thank you.
say firsthand that seeing you last year in London and watching how you impacted the audience, it was just so exciting and so inspirational and really so. I just want to say that the work that you do really does touch people. I know that firsthand, and I'm so thrilled you have this new project out. And
Thank
I can speak for myself. I'm sure speaking for you and Tim at the same time, saying we
you.
want everyone to go check it out. Check
Please
out the
go check it
new
out.
Ann Nesby album and the anniversary,
Anniversary.
and look out for the Miss Ann Soulful Casserole.
Also, yes. And then the untold legacy of
Yes,
Cirilla.
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm
Well,
executive producer and narrator.
yes,
And you can find that all on all social media platforms,
good.
Facebook at Ann Nesby, Instagram at Ann Nesby, TikTok even at Ann Nesby, my website,
Yes,
annesby.com.
yes,
And I look forward to seeing all the fans in
mm,
London and all over the world
yes.
anniversary. And David, I thank you so much again for being a part of my life and the beginning of my career. I appreciate the love that you share for people with me uh, in getting my music out. And we can't be who we are without the likes of you. And I love you, David, and I thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Anne. And all I can say is ditto and likewise. All right now. Take care, Miss Anne. Take care.
Take care, David.
Yeah. This is David Nathan, the British Ambassador of Soul. Thank you for joining me today on this podcast interview with my special guest, Ann Nesby. We hope you enjoyed hearing us chat together. If you didn't already check it out, please check out part 1 of the podcast. And don't forget to check out Anne's latest album, Anniversary, available on all digital platforms. And check out her website, www.nesby.com. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to my platform and Substack, The British Ambassador of Soul.